What's up, y'all? Alvin here, and today I'm going to show you how to tie a Gartside Gurgler.
I tell the good jokes.
All right, so the Gurgler is another one of my favorite, super easy to tie, down and dirty, fish catching guide flies. You can tie it in all kinds of colors. You can tie it in different sizes. You can use different materials, and it'll catch bass, it'll catch trout, it'll catch redfish, and most of all, it's super easy to tie. So let's get after it. First thing you're gonna need is a hook, and for today I'm just using this TMCO 811S. There's a lot of different hooks that would work. You could tie it on a freshwater hook, you could tie it on a saltwater hook. Like I said, you can tie it bigger, you can tie it smaller. It's just a super versatile pattern, and this just happens to be what I'm using it for. So I'm gonna throw these at bass and redfish. This is a size 1 hook. You can tie them much smaller, you can tie them much larger. All right, so there's our hook. Next thing we're gonna need is some thread, and I'm gonna use a chartreuse thread. This is a, bass bug saltwater thread, a heavier thread, because we're gonna be really cranking on it to tie down our foam. Next up is foam. So I'm using a 3mm thick foam, and I've got it cut down to about a 1/2-inch strip. For the body, I've got some matching chartreuse ice chenille. Like I said, you could tie this with chenille, you can tie this with hackle, you can tie it with yarn. There's all kinds of different materials that you can use for the body. And same with the tail. So I'm actually gonna use a rabbit strip tail. So this is gonna be a little bit more durable, and I just like to match the colors on this particular pattern. So that is all you need to tie this fly. A hook, some foam, some thread, some kind of body material, and some kind of tail. All right, first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and attach our thread to the hook, and we're gonna wrap it back to even with the point of the hook, and we're gonna tie our tail in. I'm gonna make the tail a little bit longer than the shank of the hook. I'm gonna tie it in, starting right above the eye, like so. Wrap that thread up past the end of that rabbit strip, and then we're ready to tie our foam on. Now, some people will clip the foam off and tie it in the same starting place. I actually like to put my foam all the way up to the eye of the hook and tie it in that way. I feel like I just get more foam underneath the other materials to help the fly stay nice and high. So just more flotation. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap that back a little bit past the point of the hook. Then I'm gonna come forward with some kind of loose wraps and come back, just kind of snug that stuff down, and then I'll go ahead and go forward with some tighter wraps. Sort of squishing it, but not squishing it all the way, because like I said, we're using this extra foam underneath for more flotation for the fly. Okay, next step is we're going to attach this ice chenille for the body. Then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap my thread all the way back up to the eye of the hook. I'll go ahead and wrap my ice chenille on. This stuff here is pretty long, so as I'm coming forward, I'm gonna sort of stroke it back to kind of encourage those fibers to all kind of point back toward the bend of the hook. And go all the way up to the eye. Get lots of this stuff on the underside. We get to the eye of the hook, and we're going to tie this down. Maybe give it a couple more wraps. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 for good measure. Clip off. Just be careful. Don't cut your thread. I've actually done that before in a video, so if you cut your thread, it ain't the end of the world. Then I'm gonna kind of wrap it back just a little ways before I fold my foam over. So I'm gonna fold the foam over. You kind of give it a little tug to flatten it out back here. And then I'm gonna kind of stroke that under body material back. And I'll just sort of pinch that down, and you can see I'm right behind the eye of the hook. A couple of kind of loose wraps, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pinch it down. Now, there's a couple different ways to finish this thing off. You could just, pull your thread back, build up a little bit of a hump here to encourage that foam to stand straight up like so. You could just clip it off here, but what I like to do is fold it back and double that over. I think it gives it a little bit more flotation once again, and also if you kind of put a little tension on that when you wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it over both layers of the foam, get it down nice and tight. And I'll come back in front of the foam again and give it a few more wraps, kind of build up a little hump in front of that foam. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and whip finish it. And I'll put some head cement on it, or maybe I won't put any head cement on it. All right, that's pretty much it. So you can fold that forward, and like I said, this kind of doubled over piece gives it a little bit more flotation in the front and gives it a little bit more of a gurgle. You can go ahead and cut it off here. You can cut it off nice and close if you want. Once again, I like to leave a little bit more foam on there just for the flotation. If you wanted to get fancy, you could get another colored foam, put a strip on top, and that'll give it even more flotation. If you wanted to put a brighter color on there to make it easier for you to see, especially if you tie this in a smaller size. But this is a super easy to tie fish catching down and dirty guide fly. All right, I hope y'all like that. I've got a whole series of these super easy to tie guide flies. I'll throw a link up there. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. That really does help me out. Give the video a thumbs up, all that YouTube stuff. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. And in the meantime, good luck on the water.